All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another Tackle Tuesday, man. And I want to talk to you guys today about the absolute best rod and reel combo setup for jighead, minnow, hover, strolling, whatever you want to call it, right? And I'm actually gonna give you guys two setups that I use, man. There's a few key subtle things that I like to take into consideration, especially when you're trying to see it better on your forward-facing sonar, regardless if you use Lowrance or Garmin, or even if you're from the bank. Again, the same little nuances. I got a couple tips in here that I want to give you guys. Even from the bank, this can still work. It doesn't matter if you got forward-facing sonar, guys. You can still catch fish with this type of setup, with this type of technique, just as well. And look, guys, both of these setups are super budget-friendly, man. You don't have to go, $400 setup just to get the job done, man. This will do you just fine. So right off the back, man, this is the Lose Speed Spin combo. A super light setup, man, super affordable. I think it's around $100 for the actual entire combo by itself, or you might find it on sale as well. But the rod itself is a 6'9" medium power fast taper rod or fast action rod, okay? The reel that comes with it is a 30 size, man, 6:2-to-1 gear ratio reel. Again, you don't need anything like super crazy fast for this technique or anything like that. It's a combo setup, man, again, around $100, and listen to that. Super smooth drag, man. Again, guys, you don't need a $400 setup, man. Again, you're not looking for crazy sensitivity and this kind of setup. It's a moving bait. And again, if you watch any of my other videos, anytime you're working with a moving bait, a fish is going to stop it, if that makes sense, okay? You're not dragging bottom with this or anything like that. The fish is, when they eat it, you're going to feel that weight. It feels like a wet bag. So like I said before, man, the reel itself is running a 10 bearing system, which again, provides super smooth drag. Rod itself, if you guys see that, man, they have stainless steel guides with aluminum inserts all the way through. But again, man, I love this rod, man. Love the parabolic bend to it. Medium power, so you're not overpowering when it comes to your hook set, man. You got nice bend to the rod. Again, this is for my, I guess you say lighter setup. I'm running like an 1/8 ounce weight, 1/8 ounce jig head on top of it. But for the line itself, I'm running 10 to 15 pound Seaguar Smackdown braid. Again, it's kind of whatever I got on the shelf, but if I got 10 to 15 pound line, it's just fine for this application. And the leader line itself is Seaguar and VizX. Right here, I'm running 12 pound line. You can run 10-pound lines, not a problem at all either. I'll get to my jig head, my bait, in just a half a second. I'll show you guys the second setup real quick. So my second setup is just for a little heavier application. When I say heavier, going from an 1/8 ounce to like a quarter or to like a half or something like that. This right here is the Lose. It's a speed stick, but it's Lose Hank Parker, the Hank Parker series. So my second setup is a little bit more backbone, man. Like I said, it's a heavier. This is a Hank Parker series by Lose. It's still a medium power, but this one in particular has just a little bit more backbone. And again, I'm throwing that for when I get to my little heavier jig heads, anything over a quarter pretty much. This rod's a 6'10" rod. Again, I like 6'9", 6'10", 7 foot is not my max normally when it comes to this application. But like I said, this second one, like I said, it has a little bit more backbone, and I predominantly throw that just because I'm throwing a little bit heavier weights, okay? Now, a little different reel setup. Again, these are very affordable setups. Another Lose Speed Spin, but it's a 20 series, a 200 size spool. It's a 5:2-to-1 gear ratio reel, which again, 5:2-to-1, 6:2-to-1, you'll be just fine in that realm right there. Again, line, I'm running 10 to 15 pound Seaguar Smackdown braid. Get a high visibility braid, man, because if you're out there working that bait, especially if you're coming, throwing off the bank, you got that bait out there, you're working your bait back, and you see that line start trailing left to right on you. You go ahead and let that thing eat, baby. Again, I'm usually running about 12 pound, 10 to 12 pound fluorocarbon line. This reel itself is an 8 bearing system, but still super smooth drag, man. Can't complain at all about it. Again, two super affordable setups, man. Balances very, very well. You can't go wrong with either one of these two. But like I said, that's my top two that I run. Now I want to mention something pretty special when it comes to my actual jig head choice. Normally this kind of application you're throwing in cleaner water, not normally a dirty water technique. Okay, faster sight feeders, and normally if you can get to like 2 to 4 foot visibility is absolute like ideal. You don't want to really go like a foot or less. It's kind of hard for bass to see the bait. So you want just a little bit of clarity. Now there's a big debate about if tungsten jig heads or lead jig heads show up better on LiveScope or forward-facing sonar, whichever one you use, Lowrance, Garmin, either one. Or Humminbird just came out with the new one as well, not too long ago. I'm gonna show you guys what jig heads I use, and I'm gonna show you the difference between seeing a better image on your forward-facing sonar, period. Show you the 3 jig heads first, and then I'll show you the hook styles. All right, so here's my top 3 jig head styles. I know my wife's gonna say, oh, look at the ash on them knuckles, boy. All right, so here's my top 3 jig head styles, man. Like I said, that bottom one is by VMC, the middle one's 6 cents, and I honestly forgot exactly how I got them. I got like 18 different styles that I like to run. Again, man, different jig heads, as you guys can see, different bait keepers, man. Some are like super simple, just a single hook at the bottom there. The 6 cents has like ribs. Again, another single up here on top of this one. But these are like the top 3 that I'm choosing, right? and I'll show you guys the actual hooks to those 3 in the same order. All right, so in that same order, here's my 3 different, I have to say 3 different hook styles, but again, bait keeper to hook. I'm usually running like a size 1 hook, kind of experiment with this top one here lately. It hasn't caused me any issues, but again, some people say it's a little better hookup ratio. I really haven't had any problems, man. Another tip I want to give you guys, man, especially when it comes to setting the hook, man, a lot of guys try to swing for the fences, man, trying to set this thing like a jig. You don't need all that. It's more of a lean into type of hook set, honestly. Lean into and just reel up, okay? Or if you are a person who wants to do a quick little snap into, but again, we're not swinging for the fences, okay? That's the easiest way you're gonna pop that. It's a little finesse, like I said, size number 1 hook. You're gonna pop that thing right, or if you got, especially if you got, you know, we don't know how they eat it at that moment. It could be skin hook right on the side, and you're swinging for the fences. You just, you know, taking away the chance of you actually landing that fish. So I'm gonna tell you guys the biggest difference between actually seeing it on your forward-facing sonar, man, so you guys have a better image of, you know, better tracking your bait, is actually the profile or the size of the jig head. Believe it or not, both of these are 1/4 ounce. But can you see the size difference, guys, in the actual jig head itself? You gotta be kidding me, bro. And honestly, this one to the right is actually a tungsten one. But that's another thing that I've noticed is a bigger jig head size, or face size, I guess you would say, just showed up a little better. I'm not saying you need tungsten for this type of application either. Again, yes, tungsten helps you with sensitivity. Cool, no problem. But it's not necessarily a need. Another tip I want to mention, man, when it comes to the hover strolling, jig head minnow strolling technique, is actually if you use baits that have like Elastec. There's a couple different companies out there that have that kind of material. You guys know it most from Z-Man. Rapala has some as well. A couple different companies out there. But if it is actually using that Elastec style material, once you get deeper, let's say beyond, I don't know, 20 foot of water, the buoyancy of that is actually gonna make your bait start looking real weird, okay? If you guys watch some underwater footage, you might see it, but a normal soft plastic that's not Elastec will actually do a lot better deeper in the water column in comparison to your Elastec style bait. So keep that in mind. It's one thing you definitely wanna take in consideration when you're, you know, trying to fish deeper. Anything over, let's say, like I said, 20, 25 foot of water, anything over that, man, you wanna go to a regular, normal, soft plastic style bait in comparison to Elastec. Hey, but take those 2 tips right there, man. And if you guys got anything you wanna throw down in the comment section below, whether it be a question, man, or another tip that you can help someone else out when it comes to the jig head minnow style, presentation, technique, whatever you wanna call it, hover strolling technique, whatever it is. But if you got something that can help somebody out, man, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. Please consider subscribing to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, man. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Greatly appreciate the love and support. Till next time, we out. Y'all take care.